Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here. Welcome back to the channel. So we are back getting into another episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End with episode 12. This is going to be my reaction to it. And you guys are actively a part of a little experiment that I'm testing right now in this video. So if nothing looks amiss, if nothing looks different, then the test has been proven successful. Let me know what you guys thought in the first 20 seconds of this video. But to pull back the curtain, quite literally, this is not my background. This is actually a green screen. You can tell from the fact that if I didn't say anything, someone would have mentioned the fact that, like, if I did any type of gestures, my arm just goes off into the void of space and time. This is for a specific reason. I've been trying to test something out in terms of like presenting my camera on stream. And one thing that I'm constantly dealing with that's a little annoying, especially with my reaction videos, is constantly moving my camera, centering it to do these intros, and then moving it off the side to do the reaction, and then moving it back to center for the intros. And it's kind of annoying. I generally just want to have my camera in one spot with one setting, never moving it, and then working in OBS to kind of change things around. So this is what I will look like from now on when I do my intros. And with the push of a button, we are now in the format for what I typically do for the reaction content. So I will be on this side and then the reaction will be here. Obviously, it's not going to be fully opaque, but this is just to kind of give you a representation of how I want to kind of present it moving forward. So I basically took a picture of my background, put it onto the green screen, chroma keyed it, and so everything kind of looks the same. Like the illusion is there that this is the exact same video, this is the exact same room I'm in. I could be in a completely different place for all I know. You would never know. But I just wanted to present that first and foremost because I feel like some people will be like, wait, what the hell? Why is Arnold's arm clipping out of the video? And so yeah, basically moving forward, I just want to have my camera like in this specific spot. I rarely move it for reasons outside of doing reaction content. And so now with the push of a button, I'll be able to change up my scenes. I'm in the exact same spot. It's just placements and just kind of manipulating the green screen effect of my camera. So that way, you know, I'm basically kind of like, and it's kind of weird too, because I can move myself. I can move myself, but obviously like the background stays still, and it's just kind of like a cool little tech manipulation, if you will. And this is the first video that I'm testing it in, and obviously I'm going to try it out in my streams and try it out in my other videos and see how I do. But it's mostly just to kind of have the convenience of, because like when I move my camera, I have to move it and I have to change the setting. So right now it's in constant focus, so it'll constantly focus on me, so I'm the most crisp in my background. I made sure to take a picture of my background in like a blurred, like in a bokeh effect, which is like the background is blurry and then the foreground, which is me, is clear. And whenever I move my camera over, I have to put my camera in like manual focus, because if it's off to the side, it kind of doesn't get me fully in focus and it's kind of going in and out. And it's happened in previous videos, and the autofocus isn't as good as the constant continuous focus. And this is kind of like a lot of the boring behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't really care about, I know, but I just wanted to share it because it's like, oh, I don't want to, you know, like I kind of want to give, I want to kind of create the illusion that nothing has changed, but in reality things have changed. But this is the first video. This will be continuing on moving forward. The only thing is I'm probably not going to be able to jump out of my seat and run around my room with some crazy ass hype action happens, but I'll still be able to kind of express that despite the fact I'll probably just be jumping around in my seat mostly. Long story short, little editing effect here, don't mind it. Hopefully it doesn't change the flavor and the approach to my content, but aside from all of that, we are getting into Frieren with episode 12. Very excited. It's always a treat and a joy to sit down to get into another episode, another piece of the journey, to see Himmel again and to kind of go on this 10-year journey with the characters that we've gotten introduced to and have been kind of still meeting a lot of new characters, going off the beaten path, seeing these new locations and whatnot. Episode 11 was kind of a nice change of pace, like I mentioned during my discussion portion and, you know, the commentary throughout. The demon arc of the previous couple of episodes was such a wild roller coaster of animation, music, build up, suspense, a lot of the action that I've been expecting or anticipating or hoping for, and getting that payoff and kind of going back to like a falling action and then like a ground level to kind of restart and retread. I think episode 11 was very much necessary for that, and it did so in such a great way with the pacing that it didn't feel like whiplash, like where we're fighting for our lives in one episode and then the next we're just kind of eating food in a cabin waiting for the winter days to pass us by. We also got introduced to a new character, the first elf outside of Frieren, the first elf I think that she has seen in the last 400 years, which is crazy. And there's one thing that I actually wanted to touch on and mention that I didn't talk about about or say at all during my episode 11 discussion, which is going back and editing my reaction and also rewatching the episode building up to now. Kraft literally says to Frieren, "You're pretty young for your age." Like he mentions basically along the lines, he says like, "Well, you're young, Frieren." Frieren's over 1,000 years old, and up to this point, the oldest character that we know of in the story. So for him to say, "You're young," as an over 1,000-year-old elf, how old is this guy who claims to have lived in an age of, he said he lived in the mystical age, right? And he prays and he believes in this, like the goddess of the world. It kind of leads me to believe. So here's the thing too, and the reason I didn't say anything about it initially is because optically, looking at him compared to Frieren, for some strange reason, at least in my mind, I was like, oh, he's older than her. Like, he actually looks older than her, but obviously when we're talking about the elves, like, Frieren looks older than Stark and Fern, because they're like teenagers. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So when you put Kraft next to Frieren, in my mind, I was like, oh, he's also older than her. So, but like that in and of itself is a statement worth looking into, because she's over 1,000 years old. So it begs the question, how old is this guy? Why does he choose to wander and, wander and travel alone, especially in a place, in a world where like his people and his kind are kind of being pushed to the brink of extinction over the last 1,000 years, from the Demon King and, the Seven Sages of Destruction and things of that nature. And I'm kind of wondering what his overall significance is, if he is like a very important figurehead in the past of this world, because obviously it seems like his existence even predates Frieren. So basically what I'm rambling and trying to get to, and I've come to the conclusion now, I wonder if he is the Frieren of his time. Like, Frieren now in the present day, she's the head bitch in charge. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She seems to like be like incredibly overpowered compared to anybody around her. And I feel like she is just kind of existing in the world and nothing is really a threat to her. And I feel like this elf might be the equivalent to Frieren, but in a different era, like during his time, during his heyday, before Frieren may have been even born. So, and he mentioned like the mystical age where like the goddess of the world kind of brought everything into being, and he believes in her and he has this faith, and he's trying, and he cultured them as well in their livelihoods, and just kind of like, I guess in a way, just kind of like weathering the storm of the winter and just kind of bonding with them in his own way, especially since I don't think that comes by very naturally or very often for him, being a solo traveler, if you will. So I expect him to be a significant figurehead that comes back into the picture down the road. The necklace, like the wooden angel necklace that he crafted for them, I feel like that might be significant. I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's a memento or a keepsake, or if that's going to be like something that saves them or protects them in the future. I don't know if he kind of gave it any type of magical properties or whatnot, but last episode was pretty great. I loved the kind of down-to-earth like reset factor of just going back to what the show has always been about, which is the journey, not the destination. Despite the fact that the journey has taken us on all of these crazy roller coaster rides, I'm sure it's going to get even crazier as time goes on. So with all of that said, I really appreciate all of you guys continuing to watch, enjoy, support these videos on YouTube and in Patreon for early access. I hope the green screen effect isn't too much. I hope this isn't too much of a distraction. I hope, hopefully people watch these intros so that way they get the context here, so I don't have to keep explaining it. But with all of that said, we're going to get into episode 12. I really am looking forward to it. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let us begin. All right, guys, we're going to be starting Frieren Beyond Journey's End with episode 12 titled A Real Hero. So I have no idea what this is indicating. I wonder if we're going to meet another character from the intro like we did the elf in the previous one. But very excited to see where we go from here. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we're going to be starting this in 3, 2, 1, now. All right. Oh, we're continuing north. Oh, okay, hold on. 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero in the Schwer Mountains, located in the northern lands. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it is what it is. All right, so they did make it through the winter season with Kraft. So I don't know if it was 29 years in the previous little excerpt. I don't remember. I have to double check, but obviously it's a bump up. So we're starting a new journey here. And it is cold. Oh, Frieren, look at her. She's so tired. So here's another thing. I'm sorry for the double like pausing right at the start of the intro, but a crazy epiphany came to me as I was rewatching some older episodes leading up to this video. since we learned that Frieren has essentially been suppressing her mana since her original like training arc days with Flame, right? From all of like from hundreds, if not thousands of years ago when she initially started that to now, I think that's why she gets tired really easily, because it's like a lot of like, it's basically become second nature to her, but it probably like takes a lot out of her to maintain that consistent like application of like keeping her mana suppressed. And it probably takes a toll on her body. That's why she gets really, really tired. And like, even right now, she's like sleepwalking practically. And so we didn't have the context of that prior because we didn't know about that information during the demon arc. But like the previous episode where like, you know, it takes a like, if she wakes up early, that's a big deal. She needs to be praised. She needs to have her hair brushed and she needs to be served food because that's like extra good job, Frieren. You're actually like, you're doing it. You know what I mean? But it just shows like the level of pressure that she places on her body to maintain that and still wake up early. So I thought that's a really cool, like reflective, like once we found out about that in the episode with the demons, it kind of recontextualizes her earlier behavior, which is, I think that's like a nice little crown jewel that when you find out those moments, it makes you really appreciate the show all the more for all of those moments that happen like that. So I think that's what's basically happening here, where we're walking by and she's struggling to stay awake. Poor thing. Aw. Yeah, so she's prone to falling asleep much sooner. Oh! 07s. Oh! Mr. Stark, your axe? Oh, yeah, that's right. That would probably cut her. Oh, well, hold her up this way. Yeah, exactly. Okay. He's like, come on! Let me have her. Oh my god! What the hell? Was that for the reason I thought it was? Like, his gesture there looked very suggestive. I don't know if that's what it was getting at, but she was just like, I don't know if I can trust you, sir. Okay. Oh, flashback! Oh! The flower field! The king only gave us 10 copper. Oh my god, the squad! Many heroes tried and failed to defeat the Demon King until... Okay, so... they're just another group of people. They're different, though. Ooh, the hero's sword. Hold on. Oh, it's a replica. Oh, that sword's in the intro. Someone was like pulling it out of like a ground or like out of the ground or I don't know if that's Excalibur or whatever, but I think that exact sword is in the intro. Like after like all the flashing moments, there is a shot where someone's like pulling the sword out of like, it kind of gave Excalibur energy. But I didn't realize that. So this is a replica of an actual hero sword. Okay, so his sword's low-key important. Back in the day, a merchant who visited my town gave it to me for saving him from a monster. Oh my god. For the future hero. Aww. Ah! Annoying. Aww. I decided I'd prove him wrong by becoming... Oh, that's what the title is. Okay. I wonder if he ever got the real sword then. Because that may have been him in the intro that pulled the sword. The brat who said that was to me was the fake priest who just drinks all the time. Ah. I love you guys so much. Stop. Stop it. Stop, please. Aww. She's having a little dream of him. Yep, exactly. Also, it's a terrible time for you to wake up. This place looks like shit. All right, so it seems like we might be talking a little bit about... this episode might focus on that sword. Keep going north. Oh, it might tie into that village that they were talking about. Come on, let me carry her, Fern. Stop being stubborn. Okay, please. She's like, not on your life, sir. I got this. Oh, Fern. I knew it! I knew it! He's doing this and it's giving the vibe that he's trying to like... I had a feeling. I was like, bro, am I the pervert for thinking that? Or is that what they're actually getting at? Oh, I love that. I love them too. I love Fern. Okay, so we're at another settlement. Oh. We've been waiting for you. What the heck? That's the chief. I'm the 49th in line of chiefs. Sheesh. Oh my gosh, she's so short. The village of the sword. Oh, I wonder if this is one of Himmel's stomping grounds. She said she's also going to all their old spots. There's an old hunting cabin. The Lord of the Mountains destroyed it. Oh, all right. Seems like we're gonna have to deal with something here too, maybe. This village used to protect the hero's sword. Yeah, literally Excalibur. The hero is said to have been placed in a sanctuary near this village. Nice. I wonder if Himmel got to it at some point. Maybe if he did, maybe they brought it back after he died. Oh, shit. Absolute cinema. The hero's sword can only be pulled from the stone by the hero who will drive away the great calamity bent on destroying this world. A part of me feels like Himmel would approach the sword, but would believe in himself to know that he doesn't really need it. Like, a part of me is like, oh, Himmel clearly got the sword. But a part of me also wonders if he didn't get the sword to prove that he didn't need it to defeat the Demon King. But also, if he pulled the sword, then he is the true hero, and they went on to defeat the Demon King. So that's a badass story. You know what I mean? Then he became the real hero. So, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty famous story. Mr. Heiter never mentioned it. Interesting. So I wonder what the real story is. Only Frieren would know. Huh. Oh, yeah. The people here, they have like that giant wall to like help them out with defensiveness. Oh, they have a duty? Monster extermination. Yep. Monsters regularly appear around the village. All right. You got to sweep them up. The Lord of the Mountain has been especially unruly lately. I wonder who that is. Another day, another task. Oh, shit. Ooh, Stark put it in work. Let's go. Okay. Mild action. You love to see it. Nothing like the demons, but I love me some clean animation. Oh, okay. I love how she let them do the work and she's just hovering over watching them. Huh. I wish I could hire others. It's because Himmel is the hero. Ooh. Oh, what's in there? Oh, is it the Lord of the Mountain, maybe? All right, Stark's looking for it. Okay, bro. Completely unprovoked. He was like, I want the smoke. Careful, bud. I don't know what the hell's in there. Whoa! Oh, shit, the music? All right, that is the Lord, all right. Wow, look at that design. No wonder he didn't know who she meant. It's a new face. Only 80 years and you consider yourself a lord? Oh, damn. Oh, let's go. Oh, shit. What a... Dude, that's my goat. That's my warrior, Stark. Get him. Defensive support. You love to see it. And then the one-shot easy kill. Good stuff. So is that also... You guys can let me know. Is that also Zoltrak? Is Zoltrak just like a pass, like a basic killing move? I know that they basically repurposed it to kill demons, but they don't exclusively... I guess it's used to kill monsters because demons are just monsters, but like a specific classification of monster, right? So whenever we see this beam, am I supposed to just assume this is Zoltrak and not like some extra super special ability? I'm just curious because like I'm always thinking of Zoltrak, but in the previous demon episode, they were like, oh, it's a demon killing spell now, but it kills all things basically. So yeah. Really cool animation here. I feel bad for that guy. 07s. Oh, that's what she was supposed to do. Oh. Uh-oh. The sword! I knew it! I knew it! I was like, for some reason, a powerful barrier prevents them from entering. Even so, they can't suppress their impulse to destroy it. Wow. So either Himmel never pulled it out, or after he died, Frieren returned it at some point in the last, like, 80 years. But I don't think he would have taken it. I think he would have, like, it says more about him that he was able to defeat the Demon King without it. At least in my opinion. I feel like that's why I was a little conflicted whether or not he did it. Himmel failed to pull the sword from the stone. Unfortunate. I wonder who the real hero is then. Nah, you're a real hero. You don't need some sword. Exactly. Exactly. I will prove that I'm a hero. What a go. What a go. What a go. Yeah. Even without the sword, he saved the world. Exactly. He was a real hero. No hero needs embarrassing story. Yeah, I don't think a hero wants to tell people, yeah, I didn't pull the sword. Exactly. He's romanticizing heroes. Yeah, it's a nice story to tell. To the point that their original nature eventually disappears. I wonder who the King Arthur to the Excalibur is actually then, if it will ever be pulled. Stark? Whoa! Wait, that's the guy from the intro! He had a sword! Wait! Why did Stark react like that, though? Maybe someone he knows. Interesting. Yeah, the other guy in the intro also had a sword. Yeah, and like the guy dressed in white. I'll see you in another 50 years. That's crazy. That's wild. She's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay. We move forward. 29 years after the death of Himmel the hero in the Apatit region located in the northern lands. Another location, gamers. We are schmoovin'. Another settlement. Everyone's free to do what they want. Hey, we get our free time. Oh my god, they're growing up so fast. Wow, he's 18. Oh, is Fern gonna do something special for him? Oh my god, these shots. Oh, did she get him something? Oh my god, look at all that stuff in her luggage. Jesus. What the heck? A potion that only does... Why do you have that? Do I want to know? Is it what I think it is? Clearly it's not for what I think it is, because she doesn't think that way. The elves don't think that way. Like, Himmel's been dead for how long? Oh my god. A potion that only dissolves clothes. My master told me men enjoy receiving... Okay, damn. Flame was built different, man. Holy shit. Brother. She's giving that to... Brother. Oh! Oh god. What are you... Did they mention that? I thought that they had a spell that let you do that. Also, that's crazy. That is wild. She's like, what kind of girl do you take me for, Frieren? All right? You think I'm one of these charlatans? I have class. I have decorum. That's crazy. Hey, you know what? She's just like her teacher. Some things are going to be passed on. That is crazy. That is so funny. Bruh. I swear to God, she has a potion. I guess the potion does that. I may have been getting it mixed up because I remember here, unless the potion was mentioned in a previous episode and I misremembered, don't they also have a spell that lets you see through clothes too? So it functionally kind of does the same thing in a sense. But I may have been misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure both of those things exist, which is also still kind of crazy. Like, those are some devious spells you got there, Frieren. Oh, the ring! That's the Himmel. I think that's like a promise ring to them too. Oh my god. I thought she was gonna get into her feelings right now. I can't. I have this. Oh, is he out and about? Aww. On his birthday, he's helping people out. So sweet. Bro, he's helping everybody and their mother. Sheesh. He stopped my cows. He helped me file my taxes. Like... Frieren, your teacher might know some things. Stark may have actually appreciated that for like, I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. I used to be 18 once. All of us used to be. You never know. All right. Good Lord. Ah, look at that. I love these two so much. They are so cute together. Oh, look at that. A hard day's work deserves a nice, relaxing view with a nice sunset. I don't know if that's a sunset, actually. Oh my God. Stop. You ruined it. Oh my God. I love him. He is so funny. Aww. Yeah, she's like, bro, I showed up at the worst time. Bruh. Yeah, maybe he is a little too immature. My God. This is so funny, though. They complete each other so well. They're great. They complement each other. Ooh. Oh. Oh, I was actually about to say, does he know it's his birthday? I'd like to... Aww. Oh my God. Fern! Come on. You gotta meet him at his level. I've never received a present before. You're the first person to ever offer him a gift. Oh, this is so wholesome. They probably just didn't care about me that much. Aw. Oh, that's right. We don't even know where he's... I don't think we know where he's from. We only know about him and his relationship with Eisen. Oh, shit. No. Oh, that's the guy. He kind of looks like... He kind of looks like Stark a little, unless this is like a relative of his. That's crazy, brother. He looks... That monster, too? What the hell? Okay, hold on. What's his name? Stoltz? A pathetic display. Try to be more like Stoltz. Not only is he uninjured, but he didn't have a speck of blood or dirt on him. Yeah, he looks like a hard-ass version of Stark. Pure white cape proves he's the strongest. Oh, wow, look at that. They look like they're all a family. Wow. Stoltz and Stark. Yeah, his father's a hard-ass. Look at that. I assume that's his father. Wow, I didn't know he had a brother. I didn't know any of this. I thought they looked similar, but I didn't question it because I was like, maybe that's a coincidence. Oh, no. You stained it. Oh, okay. I thought he was like an asshole, brother. I know you'll become strong, but your stance can... Bro, this is Itachi and Sasuke energy right now. I love it. Oh. What happened to him? Demons! These fucking pieces of shit! You couldn't have saved them. You weren't strong enough. I was the failure who ran away from everything. Wow. Wow. That's heavy. I was not expecting that. Yes, please cheer this boy up. Fern, you are so sweet. I love her so much. She is the light in his life. The warrior Stark I've known would never run. I love it! Yes! Oh! Oh, he got the silver one. Okay, nice. I thought they were gonna hold hands there for a second. This is how you celebrate a birthday. Yo, bro's about to dig in. Aww, same as Eisen. Oh? Warriors are so awkward. You don't want to talk. Interesting. People won't know how you feel unless you tell them. Yeah, you're coming to discover that now. Okay. I love this. I don't know if he mentioned Hamburg steaks when I remember there was that one scene where everyone was saying what their favorite food was. I know he likes sour grapes, but I'm curious. I may have misremembered if they mentioned this prior. They're a gift to honor warriors who have worked hard. I love this. Oh, I love this. Everyone who works hard is a warrior. I love this. Yeah, you put in work, dude. Stop. Stop! Oh, that is so sad. And his brother told him to run. Oh, I love Stark. Oh my god. What an episode, man. Oh, I love him. I think Stark's my favorite character. Aw, thank you so much, Frieren. And Fern. Stop! Stop! Don't ruin a good moment. Ah, that was a really sweet moment. Oh man, what an... Guys, I'm gonna be like this every episode with this outro, I swear to God. Wow, I did not think we'd get Stark flashback, man. That was really, really good. Oh, what a great anime. What a great show. Oh, I'm gonna be a mess when we get to... If we get to heaven and we see Himmel, I'm cooked. I'm cooked, bro. I think Stark is my favorite, though. I think he's definitely my favorite. This was such a sweet moment here. Seeing his brother, and I didn't think we'd get his backstory. I thought the only thing we'd get of him is... Oh, I'm a mess! I thought the only thing we'd get from him is, like, he ran away from home, he met up with his master, and that's it. I noticed the similarities between Stark and him in the intro, but because, like, we don't know how far these characters span their times, I couldn't make the assumption of, oh, he looks like him, that must be his brother. So that was a complete shock to me, that it actually called back to and related back to Stark's family. What a beautiful story. What a beautiful anime. And again, this is just another bittersweet moment of the Hamburg steaks tying back into her old friendships with Aizen, and obviously Aizen and Stark's parallels of being master and apprentice, and just how she's just following suit with the same way that she treated her friends from the past. And I really think Frieren and Stark are contextualizing more than ever with every passing moment we get. With every passing moment we get, it's becoming more and more apparent that that Stark and Fern are making Frieren realize how good she had it back in the day. How those past moments, she gets to have a second chance now, even though she wasn't really saying the things that she wanted to say, or the things that, or finding the words to convey how she felt. And it's funny too, and I love how Fern called her out for it too. She was like, man, it's kind of weird how you never know what someone's thinking or how someone's feeling unless they say it. And it's kind of like, I kind of wonder who relates to that. I'm sure Himmel knows a thing or two about that. You know, I can only imagine how many signs he gave while being respectful, you know what I mean? And not getting any type of reciprocation just because, unfortunately, in this case, Frieren was the character that was, was dense as a rock or something, you know? She didn't pick up on it until after the fact. Oh my God, man. What a great episode. Oh... Ah, what a great show. I love it. I love it. I absolutely loved it. I hope you guys did too. I definitely want to touch back on some stuff. I'm going to rewatch a little bit of some of these scenes here and then definitely talk about the post stuff. We're approaching, if not already, have reached the halfway point of this show, and I'm so sad about that because I love every episode that we've gotten so far. Every moment of characterization, every moment of action, every moment of wholesome, tender moments of backstory. The pacing is fantastic. This is such a out of nowhere anime that just kind of really caught everyone off guard, myself included. And obviously I'm watching it long after it's already aired, but it's so special, man. This show's so special. I was not expecting to be caught up in my emotions, being this emotionally drained by the end, especially based on how it started with a lot of lightheartedness. We got Himmel's squad introduced. We had, you know, got the initial setup of how the episode is called A Real Hero and understanding the context of that from Himmel, the hero. And for it to turn into, for it to develop into a stark character backstory of his family and his brother and, you know, the rough upbringings of having a lot of people expecting things of you and contextualizing that with how things must have been for him when he came, you know, when he came into contact with Aizen and became a protege of his and also had those expectations and then building on those expectations of the village that, you know, he was safeguarding and protecting and those people depending on him as well. It really goes to show, and it really kind of, it's a beautiful way of just showcasing his life and what ended up sculpting him as the person he is now, with a lot of that baggage, a lot of that, I guess he kind of like lives his life with a level, like he's just so hard on himself. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Even in this episode, you know, he's like, oh man, as a child, you know, the youngest of his family, you know, he's still he's rough around the edges. He's not perfect, you know, he's not like his brother or anything, but even then he still beats himself up over the fact that he was just a child and he couldn't contribute in any way. But the alternative to that was death. And so I just really loved getting this backstory. I think Stark will be, if not already is, my favorite character. As a warrior slash tank slash aggro character of this like RPG trio party, I already resonate with him to that degree. I've already talked about that in previous episodes. And his brother's name is Stoltz, and he's in the intro. And I thought that was a character that we'd be seeing in the present. If he's actually like dead, right? We saw that demon, you know, that was confronted by all the people in the settlement. The place was on fire. A very similar aesthetic, I would actually say, to that of like what we've experienced in the past with that other settlement that, you know, Himmel kind of gave the benefit of the doubt of that one demon. Everything's just on fire when demons are around, unfortunately. And so it's probably best to expect that no one survived this. You know, his family all died. His brother protecting him and safeguarding him from his father's wrath and his father's, I guess, severe method of raising his kids. Gave me big Itachi and Sasuke vibes for any Naruto fans out there who have seen Naruto. You know, the older brother having this like aura to him that you would expect him to be like, oh man, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I guess if the father's a stuck up hardened asshole of a parent, I figured, you know, especially with how they presented him initially, I was like, oh no, it's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, oh, you weakling, how are you gonna live up to the family name if you can't even hold a sword correctly? But the fact that he was very tender and very gentle with Stark was really great, even to the point where he was like, hey, I'm gonna make you this, you might not be strong, but you put in a hard day's work, therefore you are a warrior fit for a Hamburg steak, don't tell the family. That was just so heartfelt, and there were so many layers to that moment at the end of the episode that really was what caught me off guard emotionally, was the fact that the Hamburg steaks go back to Aizen and Aizen's culture and his nation and his upbringing of the war, you know what I mean? It's like, we represent a warrior by someone that works hard, and if you work hard, you're a warrior, and therefore you deserve a Hamburg steak for your troubles. And then that trickles down to Frieren getting served that same meal by Eisen, and then it trickles down to Stark getting served that same meal by his brother, of just, doing something really nice for him on his birthday. And so it just culminates in this really beautiful, emotional, and just tender moment for him as a character. He is so earnest. He is so earnest. He is so immature. He is so him, dude. Like, I love Stark as a character. He is so, I don't know. I don't even know if I have the right words to kind of convey how I feel of him as a character. But like, he's just a great addition to the team. He's the comedic relief when he needs to be. He also has a little bit of his falter moments. He's a badass on the battlefield. The fact that he's believing more and more in himself, and he's confident to the point where he's running up on these creatures and he's like taking the fight to them, is super cool. I'm not a big fan of like halberds or warhammers or giant axes. I'm more of like a sword wielder myself. Shields, maybe sword and shield combo. That's pretty cool. So like his archetype as a warrior isn't like the best flavor for me, but he wields it in such a way that makes it super cool. I'm like, I gotta put respect on it. Stark's like making this like a really cool spectacle for me. But yeah, I loved the theme of the episode too. Just like a real hero. What does it mean to be a real hero? And I had an inkling from how it started with giving us this story of like this Excalibur, sword in the stone kind of story of like whoever pulls out the sword is the chosen one and will go on to save the world from calamity. And it's almost kind of like, oh, like you're destined to do this, like, right? Like your journey is already written for you. And I loved how, like, as we got further in, I started doubting that. I was like, wait a minute. I almost feel like it's too much of a red herring for us to expect it to be Himmel, because Himmel, the hero, he has the replica sword. He wants to find the real sword. But it would be a more thematic, presentation to just be like, oh, I want to be a hero, and I'm going to prove that through my actions, not by this, prophesized sword basically telling me I pulled the sword, now I get to be the hero. If I'm not a hero now, I'm going to prove that I can be one over time, and I think that's a far better thing to romanticize. And obviously Himmel doesn't want any blemishes on his record, so I think he went out like an absolute G with defeating the Demon King and kind of letting that be his legacy, which is really cool. And then that kind of parallels to, I think, Stark at the very end looked at that sword and saw his brother as a hero. His brother was strong. His brother took the brunt of their father's, tutelage, and made sure to kind of live in his father's eyes and his father's gaze, and not like trickle that down to Stark, because it would have meant things would have been rough for him. And he was like a tender kid, you know what I mean? He was trying his best, but it wasn't good enough. And so for his son, for his brother, for Stoltz here to maintain a sense of his empathy and still understand like things are rough for me, but that doesn't mean I have to be rough on Stark. And he believed in his brother, and so at the end of the day, his brother saw him as a hero. And it was just a beautiful episode. It was so funny too. Like I personally headcanon Stark and Fern. I really hope them two end up together by the end of the series. I don't know how far along the source material is from the anime. I know there's a season 2 plan, so there's enough material to keep it going, but I don't think the manga, I think someone said the manga's on hiatus right now, but it's not done. So we could potentially even get a season 3, depending on how far the story goes, or how long this journey is, or how many years have passed between chapters, or between anime, or between seasons, I should say. But I love them too. I love them too so much, and I think they complement each other so well. Like Fern is this very respectful, conservative, modest girl who follows the rules, is proper and polite, and doesn't dwell in the like debauchery or any type of like delinquency. And then you have Stark, which is the polar opposite. Bro is stargazing, cloud gazing on like, oh man, those look like a nice pair of boobs. Oh man, that cloud looks like some poop. That's really funny. And it's just like maturity versus immaturity. I feel like they would never have a dull moment like Fern would never be bored, and Stark would constantly be not realizing like what is he doing wrong. He's just living his life like he always has, and they complement each other so well, I think. And so I believe in Fern and Stark. I don't know if there's a ship name for that, but I'm on board with that ship in particular. Frieren is a menace. She is a menace, man. And maybe Fern will indulge those thoughts or indulge in those ideas as she gets older. But at least for right now, I think Fern is 17 and Stark is 18 now, right? I think that one flashback that we got, or that one episode we got, it was her 16th birthday. A couple of years have passed since then, so I think she's either 17 or 18, and Stark is 18, and then Frieren's like 1,000 plus. So yeah, it's just nice. I love it so much. This was a beautiful episode. I had so much fun watching it. I always enjoy watching episodes of Frieren, and just kind of relaying my thoughts over the course of it. I hope the stop and go of the reactions was good. You know, I'm not apologizing for yapping. It's just like, you know, like it just felt a little bit more frequent. So, you know, it is what it is, but loved the episode. I pray and hope in my heart that his brother survived, but I don't think it is. I don't think, for the message of the episode, I just feel like we're led to believe that his brother died a hero protecting his younger brother, protecting Stark, and Stark is carrying that in his heart. And it sucks too, because in his mind, he thought that his family didn't care about him, and his brother did. At least his brother did. You know what I mean? His brother, like, trained him up, was very kind and tender to him, and just kind of did the best he could, cooked him those Hamburg steaks on his birthday, told him to, like, keep it hush-hush from the family, and even, like, saved his life. You know, maybe he repressed some of those memories, or maybe he didn't remember quite well those sequence of events until more recently, when all of these contextual moments kind of, like, came up to the surface and reminded him, especially when he bit into the meal and, you know, remembered his past. So I don't know what else to really say about the episode. Obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts, anything I did or didn't mention. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I felt the brotherly connections there. I'm an older brother as well. I'm an older brother to many. And so I just love a nice story. I wish I was a younger brother to an older brother. I'm a younger brother to an older sister. I always felt like Etika was like the big brother I never had, like watching him online and watching his like shenanigans and his content on, like, especially in the Nintendo scene, and, you know, just all the streams that he used to do. I always considered him to be like the big brother I never had, like the cool big brother, you know what I mean? Kid Cudi too is another like older male figure that I looked up to growing up, especially during my high school years. And so, I don't know, it's such a tender story that I really look to in fondness. The most apparent one that I relate to, or the most apparent one that I hearken back to and love to death, is the story and the history of, like, Itachi and Sasuke, the troubled past, the misinterpreted, you know, history between the two of them, the truth of the matter after you figure out everything between them two and their history. And I just love a good, like, older brother, younger brother dynamic. So, loved the episode, loved everything that it delivered. Obviously, this is a little, you know, a little bump, not a bump in the road, but like like off the beaten path experience, right? It was another settlement that Himmel and his squad stopped by. It's one of the many settlements we're going to get to on our way to End, to heaven, and seeing Himmel. And we got to see a little bit of moments with Frieren reflecting on some of those moments with Himmel, and including the ring, which I think is going to come up in future episodes as well. But that is everything. Those are my thoughts. Those are my theories. Those are my interpretations, my reactions to everything. I really, really, really hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching these videos on YouTube and Patreon, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.